a fascinating and multifaceted chapter in ancient history that profoundly shaped the cultural, social, and political landscapes of Europe. The Aegean Civilization, which flourished during the second millennium BCE, serves as a crucial bridge between the prehistoric and historic periods of European history, offering invaluable insights into the development of early societies. This period is characterized by significant advancements in art, architecture, trade, and social organization, all of which played a pivotal role in shaping the trajectory of subsequent civilizations across the Mediterranean and beyond. In this presentation, we will delve into two of the most prominent and significant cultures of the Aegean era, the Minoans and the Mycenaeans. Each of these cultures, while distinct in their characteristics and achievements, contributed immensely to the rich tapestry of Aegean civilization. The Minoans, often regarded as one of the earliest advanced societies in Europe, were primarily located on the island of Crete. Known for their sophisticated urban centers, such as the legendary Palace of Knossos, the Minoans left behind an impressive array of archaeological evidence. This includes intricate frescoes that depict vibrant scenes of nature and daily life, advanced architectural designs featuring multi-storied buildings, and sophisticated plumbing systems that reflect their remarkable engineering skills. Their society was marked by a complex social hierarchy where evidence suggests a matriarchal influence and a flourishing trade network that extended across the Mediterranean, facilitating cultural exchanges that enriched their civilization and fostered economic prosperity. On the other hand, the Mycenaeans emerged on the Greek mainland and are often celebrated for their warrior culture, which was characterized by a strong emphasis on military prowess and a centralized political structure. Mycenaean society was organized around powerful palatial centers, such as Mycenae and Tiryns, where the ruling elite resided. These monumental structures not only served as administrative and religious centers, but also as symbols of power and authority. The Mycenaeans were known for their impressive architectural feats, including massive stone fortifications and grand tombs, such as the famous Lion Gate at Mycenae, which showcases their skill in construction and artistry. As we examine their origins, we will trace the evolution of both cultures from early settlements to powerful civilizations, exploring how geographical factors influence their development and interactions. We will investigate their achievements across various fields, including art, literature, and engineering, highlighting how these accomplishments laid the groundwork for future generations. The rich narratives of the Mycenaean epic poems, such as the Iliad and the Odyssey, provide us with glimpses into their values, heroism, and the significance of warfare and honor in their society. Religious practices played a vital role in both the Minoan and Mycenaean cultures, reflecting their beliefs and values. The Minoans worshipped a variety of deities, often depicted as goddesses associated with fertility, nature, and the sea, indicating their reverence for the natural world. In contrast, the Mycenaeans developed a pantheon of gods that would later influence Greek mythology, with figures such as Zeus and Hera taking center stage. We will explore how these religious beliefs shaped their communities, rituals, and everyday life, creating a shared cultural identity that transcended individual cities and regions. Finally, we will address the eventual decline of both the Minoans and Mycenaeans, considering the myriad factors that led to their downfall. Theories regarding their collapse range from natural disasters, such as earthquakes and volcanic eruptions, to invasions by foreign peoples and shifts in trade routes. Understanding these factors provides crucial insights into the vulnerabilities of even the most advanced civilizations. Despite their decline, the legacy of the Minoans and Mycenaeans endured, influencing the subsequent development of classical Greece and leaving a lasting impact on Western civilization. So, let us embark on this journey through time, immersing ourselves in the vibrant world of the Aegean civilization, a key chapter in the story of human progress that continues to resonate in modern culture, scholarship, and our understanding of the foundations of European history. Through this exploration, we will uncover not only the remarkable achievements and complexities of these ancient societies, but also their enduring influence on our world today. The Aegean Civilization, an overview. Introduction to Aegean Civilization. The Aegean Civilization, which flourished during the Bronze Age, approximately from 3000 BCE to 1100 BCE, is one of the most fascinating periods in ancient history. It is primarily associated with two significant cultures, the Minoans and the Mycenaeans. The Minoans, renowned for their advanced society on the island of Crete, showcased remarkable achievements in art, architecture, and trade. Their vibrant frescoes, intricate pottery, and innovative architectural structures, such as the palace at Knossos, exemplify their artistic flair and complex societal organization. In contrast, the Mycenaeans, who inhabited mainland Greece, were known for their warrior culture and monumental architecture, such as the iconic citadel at Mycenae. These two cultures contributed to the rich tapestry of the Aegean Civilization, influencing subsequent societies in the region and beyond. Geographical context. The geographical context of the Aegean Civilization played a crucial role in its development. Situated at the crossroads of Europe, Asia, and Africa, the Aegean region was strategically located to facilitate trade and cultural exchange. The Aegean Sea, with its numerous islands, acted as a vital conduit connecting various cultures, including those of Egypt and Mesopotamia. The natural landscape, characterized by rugged mountains and fertile plains, shaped settlement patterns and agricultural practices. The mountains provided natural fortifications, while the fertile valleys allowed for the cultivation of essential crops, contributing to the region's prosperity. This interplay between geography and civilization set the stage for a dynamic exchange of ideas, goods, and cultural practices that would characterize the Aegean era. Minoan society and culture. Minoan society, centered on the island of Crete, is often regarded as one of the earliest advanced civilizations in Europe. The Minoans were adept traders, utilizing their maritime skills to establish trade routes across the Mediterranean. This trading network enabled them to acquire valuable resources, such as metals and luxury goods, which enriched their culture and economy. The Minoans are perhaps best known for their remarkable artistry, which is vividly displayed in their frescoes. These artworks, often depicting scenes of nature, religious rituals, and daily life, showcase their sophisticated aesthetic sensibilities. Additionally, Minoan pottery, characterized by intricate designs and vibrant colors, reflects their artistic prowess and attention to detail. Architectural innovations of the Minoans. The architectural innovations of the Minoans are another hallmark of their civilization. The palace complexes, particularly the one at Knossos, exemplify advanced architectural techniques in urban planning. These palaces were not merely residences for royalty, but served as administrative and religious centers. The layout of the palaces included intricate storage facilities, workshops, and ceremonial spaces, indicating a highly organized society. The use of columns, often with bulbous capitals, and the incorporation of light wells and ventilation systems demonstrate their ingenuity in architecture. The Minoans also utilized frescoes to adorn the walls of these palaces, creating visually stunning environments that reflected their cultural values and beliefs. Mycenaean society and culture. In contrast to the Minoans, the Mycenaeans, who emerged around 1600 BCE, were a warrior society known for their militaristic culture and fortified cities. The Mycenaean civilization was characterized by a hierarchical social structure, with powerful kings presiding over extensive territories. They engaged in trade and warfare, establishing dominance over the Aegean region. The Mycenaeans were also skilled craftsmen, producing intricate jewelry, pottery, and weapons. Their artistic style was heavily influenced by Minoan culture, yet it also showcased distinct characteristics, such as the use of geometric patterns and the depiction of heroic figures. The famous Mycenaean tombs, known as tholoi, reveal their burial practices and beliefs about the afterlife, indicating a complex relationship with death and the divine. Architectural achievements of the Mycenaeans. The architectural achievements of the Mycenaeans are evident in their monumental structures and defensive fortifications. The citadels, such as the one at Mycenae, featured massive stone walls, known as Cyclopean walls, which were constructed using large boulders fitted together without mortar. This engineering prowess not only provided protection against invasions, but also symbolized the power and authority of the Mycenaean rulers. The layout of the citadels often included palaces, workshops, and administrative buildings, reflecting their centralized governance. Additionally, the Mycenaean use of tholos tombs, characterized by their beehive-shaped structures, illustrates their burial practices and reverence for the dead. Trade and economic systems. Trade played a vital role in the prosperity of both Minoan and Mycenaean societies. The Aegean civilization's strategic location allowed it to engage in extensive trade networks, exchanging goods with neighboring regions. The Minoans, in particular, were known for their maritime trade, exporting products such as olive oil, wine, and pottery, while importing raw materials like metals and textiles. This trade fostered economic interdependence and cultural exchange, enriching the societies involved. The Mycenaeans, while also engaged in trade, were more militaristic and often used their naval power to control trade routes. This competition for resources and markets contributed to the complexities of their economic systems. Religious beliefs and practices. Religion played a central role in the lives of the Aegean peoples. Both Minoan and Mycenaean societies practiced polytheism, worshiping a pantheon of gods and goddesses associated with various aspects of life, nature, and the cosmos. The Minoans revered deities linked to fertility, agriculture, and the sea, as evidenced by the numerous figurines and frescoes depicting these divine figures. Religious rituals often took place in sacred spaces, such as caves and mountain shrines, emphasizing the connection between the natural world and the divine. In contrast, the Mycenaeans had a more structured religious system, with powerful gods such as Zeus and Poseidon occupying prominent positions in their pantheon. The Mycenaean worship included elaborate burial rituals, reflecting their beliefs about the afterlife and the importance of honoring the dead. Artistic expressions. Artistic expressions in the Aegean civilization were diverse and reflected the cultural values and beliefs of its peoples. Minoan art, characterized by its vibrant colors and dynamic forms, often depicted natural themes, including flora and fauna, as well as religious motifs. The frescoes of Knossos, with their lively representations of bull leaping and rituals, illustrate the Minoans' close relationship with nature and their religious practices. In contrast, Mycenaean art showcased a more formal style, with an emphasis on heroic figures and militaristic themes. The pottery of both cultures revealed a high degree of craftsmanship, with intricate designs and symbolic representations that communicated social status and identity. Decline of the Aegean civilization. The decline of the Aegean civilization is a subject of ongoing debate among historians and archaeologists. Various factors contributed to this decline, including natural disasters, invasions, and economic upheaval. The Mycenaean civilization, for instance, faced significant challenges, including possible invasions by the Sea Peoples and internal strife, which weakened their political structure and trade networks. Additionally, environmental factors such as drought and famine may have played a role in destabilizing agricultural production, leading to social unrest. The collapse of these once great civilizations marked a significant transition in the ancient world, paving the way for the emergence of new cultures and societies in the following centuries. Cultural legacy of the Aegean civilization. Despite its decline, the Aegean civilization left a profound cultural legacy that influenced subsequent societies in the Mediterranean and beyond. The artistic achievements of the Minoans and Mycenaeans set the stage for the development of classical Greek art and architecture. The concepts of trade, governance, and religious practices established during this period would continue to resonate in later civilizations, shaping the trajectory of Western history. Furthermore, the myths and legends originating from the Aegean civilization, such as the tales of Theseus and the Minotaur or the Trojan War, became foundational narratives in Greek literature, reflecting the enduring impact of this remarkable civilization. Archaeological discoveries and research. The archaeological discoveries related to the Aegean civilization have provided invaluable insights into its society, culture, and daily life. Excavations at sites like Knossos, Mycenae, and Tiryns have unearthed a wealth of artifacts, including pottery, frescoes, tools, and inscriptions, allowing researchers to piece together the complexities of this ancient world. The decipherment of Linear B, the script used by the Mycenaeans, has further illuminated their administrative practices and economic systems, revealing the intricacies of their society. Ongoing research and excavations continue to enhance our understanding of the Aegean civilization, shedding light on its significance in the broader context of ancient history. Influence on subsequent civilizations. The influence of the Aegean civilization extended far beyond its geographical boundaries. The trade networks established by the Minoans and Mycenaeans facilitated cultural exchange with other ancient civilizations, including the Egyptians, Phoenicians, and Hittites. This exchange led to the dissemination of ideas, technologies, and artistic styles enriching the cultural landscape of the Mediterranean. The political and social structures developed in the Aegean also laid the groundwork for the rise of classical Greek city-states, contributing to the evolution of democracy, philosophy, and the arts. The Aegean civilization's legacy continues to resonate in modern society, reminding us of the interconnectedness of human cultures throughout history. The Minoans, the masters of Crete, origins and rise. The Minoan civilization, one of the earliest advanced societies in Europe, emerged around 3000 BCE on the island of Crete. This ancient civilization is named after the legendary King Minos, a figure shrouded in myth, particularly known for the tale of the Minotaur and the Labyrinth. The origins of the Minoans are somewhat enigmatic, yet archaeological evidence suggests that their society evolved from earlier Neolithic communities on the island. Over centuries, these early inhabitants developed a complex social structure and established a thriving culture that would significantly influence later civilizations in the region, including the Greeks. The Minoans were not merely a product of their geography. They innovated and advanced their society through a combination of trade, agriculture, and artistic expression. Their rise to prominence was marked by the construction of elaborate palaces and vibrant artistic achievements, showcasing their position as masters of the Mediterranean world. Society and culture. At the heart of Minoan civilization was a sophisticated social hierarchy that included a ruling elite, skilled artisans, and a large population of farmers and laborers. This stratified society allowed for specialization of labor, leading to remarkable achievements in art and architecture. The Minoans are celebrated for their artistic contributions, particularly in frescoes that adorn their palatial complexes. These vivid works of art depicted various aspects of Minoan life, from natural landscapes to religious ceremonies and athletic competitions. The society valued beauty and creativity, as evidenced by their focus on vibrant colors and dynamic forms in artistic representation. Minoan culture was deeply intertwined with nature, reflecting their environment in their artistic endeavors. This connection to the natural world was not only aesthetic, but also spiritual, as it influenced their religious practices and societal norms. Architecture. Minoan architecture is distinguished by its grand, multi-story palaces, with the Palace of Knossos being the most notable example. These palaces were not just royal residences. They functioned as administrative, religious, and economic hubs. The architectural layouts were complex, featuring numerous rooms, courtyards, and corridors, designed with both function and aesthetics in mind. Advanced engineering techniques were employed, including sophisticated plumbing systems that provided water for baths and sanitation. The walls of these palaces were often adorned with exquisite frescoes, illustrating scenes of nature, ritualistic practices, and the daily lives of the Minoans. The design of these structures showcased an understanding of space and light, creating an environment that was both practical and beautiful. The palatial complexes served as a reflection of Minoan society, symbolizing their wealth, power, and artistic prowess. Artistry. Minoan art is renowned for its vibrant colors and naturalistic representations, reflecting the civilization's close relationship with the environment. The frescoes found at sites like Knossos are particularly noteworthy for their dynamic depictions of human and animal figures, emphasizing movement and vitality. Common themes in Minoan art include scenes of nature, such as blooming flowers, flying birds, and graceful dolphins, which illustrate the Minoans' reverence for the natural world. Additionally, athletic activities, such as bull leaping, are prominently featured, highlighting the cultural importance of physical prowess and competitive spirit. This focus on athleticism is indicative of a society that valued both beauty and strength, as athletic events were often associated with religious rituals and community celebrations. Minoan artisans demonstrated exceptional skill in pottery and metalwork, creating finely crafted goods that were highly sought after in trade networks across the Mediterranean. Religion. Religion played a central role in Minoan life, characterized by a polytheistic belief system centered around nature and fertility. The Minoans worshiped various deities, with a particular emphasis on a mother goddess figure, symbolizing fertility, the earth, and the cycles of life. This goddess was often associated with agricultural abundance and the nurturing aspects of the natural world. Minoan religious practices included rituals conducted in sacred spaces, such as caves and mountain shrines, where offerings of fruits, animals, and pottery, trade and economy. The Minoans established extensive trade networks that spanned the Mediterranean, facilitating the exchange of goods such as pottery, textiles, and agricultural products. Their strategic location on the island of Crete allowed them to become a central hub for trade, connecting various cultures and civilizations across the region. The Minoan economy was primarily based on agriculture, with staple crops including wheat, barley, olives, and grapes. The cultivation of these crops supported not only their population, but also their trade activities. Minoan society was characterized by skilled craftsmanship, producing goods that were highly valued both locally and abroad. The Minoans were adept sailors, which played a crucial role in their ability to navigate trade routes and establish connections with other civilizations, including Egypt, the Near East, and the Aegean Islands. Their maritime prowess contributed to their economic strength and cultural exchange. Influence and legacy. The influence of the Minoans extended beyond their time, leaving a lasting legacy that would shape subsequent civilizations, particularly the ancient Greeks. Their advancements in art, architecture, and trade set the stage for the cultural achievements of later societies. The Minoan emphasis on aesthetics and harmony in design can be seen in Greek architecture and art, which often drew inspiration from Minoan styles. Furthermore, the myths and legends surrounding Minoan culture, such as the tales of King Minos and the Minotaur, have endured through the centuries, illustrating the lasting impact of their mythology on Western civilization. The Minoans' innovative spirit and artistic achievements paved the way for future generations, establishing a cultural foundation that continues to be celebrated in modern times. Decline and mystery. Despite their achievements, the Minoan civilization faced decline around 1450 BCE, a period that remains shrouded in mystery. The causes of their decline are still debated among historians and archaeologists, with theories ranging from natural disasters, such as earthquakes and volcanic eruptions, to invasions by external forces, including the Mycenaeans from mainland Greece. The destruction of palatial centers and the subsequent decline in trade suggest a significant disruption in their society. However, some scholars argue that the Minoans may have gradually assimilated into the Mycenaean culture rather than facing a complete collapse. The loss of their distinct identity raises intriguing questions about cultural continuity and transformation in the ancient world. The remnants of Minoan civilization, preserved in archaeological sites, continue to offer valuable insights into their way of life and the factors contributing to their eventual decline. Archaeological discoveries. Archaeological excavations on Crete have uncovered a wealth of artifacts and structures that provide a glimpse into Minoan civilization. Sites such as Knossos, Phaistos, and Malea have revealed elaborate palaces, intricate frescoes, pottery, and tools, showcasing the sophistication of Minoan society. The discovery of Linear A, an undeciphered script used by the Minoans, adds to the intrigue surrounding their written language and administrative practices. While much about Minoan writing remains a mystery, the existence of these inscriptions indicates a level of administrative complexity that supports their status as a developed civilization. Archaeological findings continue to reshape our understanding of the Minoans, challenging assumptions and illuminating aspects of their culture that were previously unknown. Cultural interactions. The Minoans were not an isolated society. Their trade networks fostered cultural interactions with neighboring civilizations. Through trade, they exchanged ideas, technologies, and artistic styles with cultures in Egypt, the Near East, and the Aegean Islands. This cultural exchange enriched Minoan society, influencing their art, religion, and social practices. The adoption of certain motifs and styles from these interactions can be seen in Minoan art and architecture, reflecting a dynamic and interconnected world. Conversely, Minoan innovations also impacted neighboring cultures, particularly in pottery and architectural design. The interplay of cultural influences highlights the Minoans' role as facilitators of exchange in the ancient Mediterranean, underscoring their importance in the region's history. Theories of administration. The administration of Minoan society is a subject of ongoing research and debate among scholars. Some theories suggest a centralized form of governance, with the palaces serving as administrative centers that controlled resources, trade, and labor. The presence of large storerooms in palatial complexes indicates a system for managing agricultural production and trade goods. Others propose a more decentralized structure, with local leaders or elites exercising power within their respective regions. The lack of extensive written records complicates our understanding of Minoan governance, leaving scholars to rely on archaeological evidence to draw conclusions. Despite these uncertainties, it is clear that the Minoans developed sophisticated systems for managing their society, contributing to their economic prosperity and cultural achievements. Art and symbolism. Minoan art is rich in symbolism and meaning, often reflecting the values and beliefs of their society. The vibrant frescoes and pottery designs frequently depict animals, such as bulls, dolphins, and birds, which held significant symbolic meaning for the Minoans. The bull, for example, was associated with strength and fertility, playing a prominent role in their religious rituals and cultural practices. The prevalence of natural imagery in Minoan art suggests a deep reverence for the environment and an understanding of the interconnectedness of life. These artistic expressions serve not only as decoration, but also as a means of conveying cultural narratives and spiritual beliefs. The significance of art in Minoan society highlights their creative spirit and the importance of aesthetics in shaping their cultural identity. Gender roles in Minoan society. The role of gender in Minoan society is a topic of significant interest and research. Evidence suggests that women held a relatively high status compared to contemporary societies, with depictions of women in frescoes often showcasing them in positions of prominence, participating in religious ceremonies and athletic activities. Some scholars argue that Minoan culture may have been matriarchal or at least had strong female deities at its center, as reflected in their religious practices. This perception of women as powerful figures may have contributed to a more egalitarian social structure, although the specifics of gender dynamics remain a complex area of study. The portrayal of women in Minoan art challenges traditional narratives about gender roles in ancient civilizations, prompting further exploration of the social fabric of Minoan society. The Minoan language. The Minoans utilized a script known as Linear A, which remains undeciphered to this day. This written language was primarily used for administrative purposes, with inscriptions found on clay tablets and other artifacts. The lack of understanding of Linear A poses challenges for historians seeking to reconstruct Minoan history and culture, as much of their written records remain a mystery. Some scholars have attempted to compare Linear A with other ancient scripts, such as Linear B, used by the Mycenaeans, but conclusive interpretations have yet to emerge. The enigmatic nature of Minoan writing adds to the intrigue surrounding their civilization, highlighting the gaps in our understanding of their social structure, governance, and daily life. The Mycenaeans, warriors of the mainland, origins and rise. The Mycenaean civilization began to rise around 1600 BCE on the Greek mainland, particularly in regions such as Mycenae, Tiryns, and Pylos. Emerging from the cultural backdrop of the earlier Minoan civilization, the Mycenaeans are often regarded as the first Greeks, laying the foundations for what would later evolve into classical Greek culture. This period marked a significant transition from the relative peace of the Minoan era to a more complex and hierarchical society characterized by militaristic tendencies and ambitious territorial expansion. The Mycenaeans were influenced by Minoan art and architecture, adopting and adapting many of their elements while also incorporating their warrior ethos. Archaeological evidence indicates that by the 14th century BCE, the Mycenaeans had established themselves as formidable maritime and land powers, dominating trade routes and asserting their influence across the Aegean Sea. This rise to prominence was not merely due to military might, it was also the result of strategic alliances, intermarriages with neighboring powers, and an effective administrative system that enabled them to mobilize resources and manpower efficiently. Society and culture. Mycenaean society was distinctly hierarchical and militaristic, with a powerful ruling class that controlled large territories through a network of fortified palaces and subordinate chieftains. At the top of this social structure was the wanax, the king or chief, who held ultimate authority over land, resources, and military matters. Below him were the nobles and warriors, who were essential in maintaining the security and wealth of the kingdom. The Mycenaean palaces were not only the residences of these elites, but also served as administrative centers where economic transactions took place and surplus goods were stored. The society's focus on warfare is evident in their art and artifacts, which frequently depict battles, weaponry, and heroic figures. This emphasis on military prowess likely reflected the constant competition for dominance among the various Mycenaean city-states, which were often in conflict with one another and with neighboring civilizations. The social structure was further reinforced through religious practices, with the gods often portrayed as protectors of the warrior elite, legitimizing their power and influence. Architecture. The Mycenaean palaces, exemplified by those found in Mycenae, Tiryns, and Pylos, were characterized by massive stone walls, monumental gates, and elaborate burial structures known as tholos tombs. The architectural prowess of the Mycenaeans is most famously illustrated by the Lion Gate at Mycenae, a monumental entrance that features two lion figures carved into a stone relief, symbolizing strength and power. This grand structure served not only as a defensive mechanism, but also as a statement of the civilization's might. The palatial complexes were meticulously designed, often featuring a central courtyard surrounded by rooms for administration, storage, and living quarters. Innovations such as the use of corbel arches in the construction of tombs allowed for the creation of expansive burial chambers, reflecting both the technical skill of Mycenaean builders and the significance placed on burial practices. Additionally, the use of Cyclopean masonry with its massive limestone blocks speaks to the Mycenaeans' engineering capabilities and their desire to convey permanence and stability through their architectural feats. Artistry. Mycenaean art is distinguished by its pottery, which often featured geometric designs and scenes depicting warfare, hunting, and daily life. The pottery was not merely utilitarian. It served as a canvas for artistic expression that conveyed social status and cultural values. The artistry of the Mycenaeans also extended to frescoes that adorned the walls of their palaces, depicting scenes of hunting, religious rituals, and processions, which provided insights into their daily lives and beliefs. This artistic legacy not only reflects the values and aesthetics of Mycenaean society, but also influenced subsequent Greek artistic traditions, particularly during the Archaic and Classical periods. Religion. Religion played a vital role in Mycenaean society, similar to the Minoans, with a polytheistic belief system that included a pantheon of gods drawn from earlier Aegean traditions. The Mycenaeans worshipped deities such as Zeus, Hera, and Poseidon, each associated with different aspects of life and the natural world. Religious practices were conducted in grand palaces and sanctuaries, where offerings were made to gain favor from the gods. Rituals often included sacrifices, feasting, and communal gatherings, reinforcing social bonds and the authority of the ruling class. The importance of religion is evident in the construction of shrines and altars within the palatial complexes, as well as in the elaborate burial customs that reflected beliefs about the afterlife. The Mycenaeans also left behind inscriptions in Linear B, an early form of Greek writing, which provide insights into their religious practices, including the names of deities and descriptions of offerings. These inscriptions indicate a structured religious system that was intertwined with the political and social fabric of Mycenaean life, highlighting the role of religion in legitimizing authority and maintaining social cohesion. Trade and economy. The Mycenaeans engaged in extensive trade, exchanging goods with neighboring civilizations such as the Minoans, Egyptians, and Hittites. Their strategic location on the Greek mainland facilitated maritime trade, allowing them to establish economic ties across the Aegean Sea and beyond. They exported a variety of products, including pottery, textiles, and agricultural goods, while importing luxury items and raw materials such as metals, ivory, and exotic stones. This vibrant trade network not only enhanced the wealth of Mycenaean city-states, but also facilitated cultural exchanges that enriched their society. Unlike the more decentralized Minoan economy, the Mycenaean economy was characterized by a greater degree of centralization, with a focus on agriculture and warfare. The control of trade routes and resources played a crucial role in the consolidation of power among Mycenaean leaders, who used their wealth to support military campaigns and maintain their lavish lifestyles. This economic structure was further reinforced by the administrative practices evident in the Linear B tablets, which detail the distribution of goods and the organization of labor. Military prowess. As a warrior society, the Mycenaeans were known for their military prowess, which was crucial to their expansion and dominance in the region. The Mycenaean army was composed of heavily armed infantry, including elite warriors who fought on foot, equipped with bronze weapons and armor. Their military tactics were advanced for their time, incorporating both frontal assaults and strategic maneuvers in battle. The Mycenaeans also utilized chariots, which provided them with a significant advantage on the battlefield. The combination of skilled infantry and chariotry allowed them to conquer neighboring territories and establish control over trade routes. Their military campaigns often targeted rival city-states and other civilizations, leading to the acquisition of wealth and resources that further strengthened their power. This emphasis on warfare and conquest was not merely a means of territorial expansion, but also a reflection of their societal values, where martial skill and bravery were highly esteemed. The legacy of Mycenaean military achievements would later influence Greek warfare in the classical period, particularly in the development of hoplite phalanx tactics. Decline and legacy. Despite their remarkable achievements, the Mycenaean civilization experienced a gradual decline around 1200 BCE, attributed to a combination of internal strife, external invasions, and natural disasters. The collapse of their complex social and political structures led to a period of instability known as the Greek Dark Ages, during which many aspects of Mycenaean culture were lost or transformed. Archaeological evidence suggests that widespread destruction, possibly due to invasions by the Sea Peoples or internal rebellions, resulted in the abandonment of many Mycenaean sites. However, the legacy of the Mycenaeans endured, influencing the subsequent development of Greek culture and identity. Their art, architecture, and religious practices laid the groundwork for the rise of the classical Greek city-states. The tales of heroic figures from Mycenaean myths, such as Agamemnon and Achilles, would later inspire epic poetry and literature, shaping the cultural narrative of ancient Greece. Moreover, the Mycenaean language, preserved in Linear B inscriptions, represents one of the earliest forms of Greek, providing invaluable insights into the evolution of the Greek language. The Mycenaean economy. The economic structure of the Mycenaean civilization was intricately linked to its political and social organization. At the heart of this economy was agriculture, which formed the backbone of their society and provided the necessary sustenance for both the populace and the ruling elite. The Mycenaeans cultivated various crops, including wheat, barley, and olives, and they raised livestock such as sheep and goats. Surplus production allowed for the establishment of trade networks, where they exchanged agricultural goods for luxury items and raw materials from other cultures. This trade not only facilitated economic prosperity, but also fostered cultural exchange, enriching Mycenaean society. The wealth generated from agriculture and trade enabled the construction of monumental architecture and the patronage of artists and artisans, further reflecting the society's hierarchical structure. The administration of the economy was meticulously organized, as evidenced by the linear B tablets, which recorded details of agricultural production, trade transactions, and the distribution of goods. This level of economic management showcases the sophistication of Mycenaean society and highlights the interplay between economic power and political authority. Cultural exchange and influence. The Mycenaean civilization thrived in an environment of cultural exchange, interacting with various neighboring civilizations, including the Minoans, Egyptians, and Hittites. This interaction facilitated the exchange of ideas, technologies, and artistic styles, leading to a rich tapestry of cultural influences that shaped Mycenaean identity. The adoption of Minoan artistic motifs and architectural techniques is particularly evident in Mycenaean pottery and palace construction, demonstrating their capacity for innovation and adaptation. Furthermore, the Mycenaeans were influenced by the advanced technologies of their neighbors, incorporating new methods in metallurgy and agriculture that enhanced their own production capabilities. The exchange of goods, especially luxury items such as metals and textiles, fostered economic interdependence and contributed to the establishment of a sophisticated trade network that linked the Mycenaeans with distant cultures. This cultural exchange not only enriched Mycenaean society, but also laid the groundwork for the future development of Greek culture, as many aspects of Mycenaean civilization would be inherited and transformed by subsequent generations. Highafurent transition to the Greek Dark Ages. The transition from the Mycenaean civilization to the subsequent Greek Dark Ages represents a period of significant change and upheaval in the Aegean region. The collapse of Mycenaean society around 1200 BCE was marked by widespread destruction, the abandonment of palatial centers, and a decline in trade and literacy. This period of instability led to the fragmentation of social and political structures, resulting in the emergence of smaller, decentralized communities. The loss of centralized authority and the complexities of the Mycenaean administrative systems contributed to a decline in economic activity and cultural production. During the Dark Ages, the once thriving Mycenaean cities fell into ruin, and many aspects of their sophisticated culture were lost or transformed. However, this era of adversity also set the stage for the eventual rise of the Greek city-states in the 8th century BCE, as new forms of governance, social organization, and cultural expression began to emerge. While the Mycenaean civilization may have faded, its influence persisted, providing a foundation upon which the classical Greek civilization would later flourish, thus bridging the gap between the ancient past and the dawn of a new cultural epoch. The interactions between Minoans and Mycenaeans. The interactions between the Minoans and Mycenaeans played a pivotal role in shaping the cultural landscape of ancient Greece. As the Mycenaean civilization emerged on the Greek mainland around 1600 BCE, it began to engage with the Minoans, who had already established a thriving society on the island of Crete. This period of contact was characterized by trade, cultural exchange, and a complex relationship that would ultimately influence the trajectory of Greek civilization. Cultural exchange between the Minoans and Mycenaeans was marked by the sharing of art, architecture, and religious practices. The Mycenaeans were heavily influenced by Minoan art, which was known for its vibrant frescoes and intricate pottery. Elements such as the depiction of marine life and mythological scenes began to appear in Mycenaean artifacts, reflecting a blend of Minoan aesthetic sensibilities. This adoption of artistic styles not only enriched Mycenaean culture, but also laid the groundwork for later Greek artistic traditions. Trade was another crucial aspect of the interactions between the two civilizations. The Minoans were adept maritime traders, and their extensive trade networks facilitated the exchange of goods and ideas across the Mediterranean. The Mycenaeans, recognizing the wealth generated by Minoan trade, sought to establish their own foothold in this lucrative economy. This led to an increase in trade relations, with Mycenaean goods, such as pottery and textiles, being exchanged for Minoan luxury items like saffron, jewelry, and fine ceramics. Religious practices also experienced significant cross-pollination during this period. The Mycenaeans adopted several Minoan deities and rituals, integrating them into their own belief systems. This syncretism can be seen in archaeological findings, where Mycenaean temples often featured Minoan motifs and symbols. The worship of fertility deities and the veneration of sacred animals were among the practices that the Mycenaeans incorporated, creating a unique fusion of spiritual beliefs that would resonate throughout ancient Greek religion. The collapse of the Minoan civilization around 1450 BCE marked a turning point in the relationship between these two cultures. While natural disasters such as earthquakes and volcanic eruptions certainly played a role in the decline of Minoan society, the invasions by the Mycenaeans cannot be overlooked. These invasions were not merely acts of aggression, they signified a shift in power dynamics within the region. As the Mycenaeans gained control over Crete, they effectively absorbed many aspects of Minoan culture, further solidifying their influence in the Aegean world. The transition from Minoan to Mycenaean dominance also had significant implications for the development of writing systems in ancient Greece. The Minoans had developed Linear A script that remains largely undeciphered. The Mycenaeans, however, adapted this script to create Linear B, the earliest known form of Greek writing. This innovation was crucial for the administration and record-keeping of Mycenaean society and laid the foundation for the later development of the Greek alphabet. The impact of Minoan culture on Mycenaean society extended beyond writing and art. It also influenced social structures and governance. The Minoan palace economy, characterized by centralized administration and control over trade, served as a model for Mycenaean governance. The Mycenaeans adopted aspects of this system, establishing their own palatial centers that became hubs of political and economic activity. These palaces served not only as administrative centers, but also as symbols of power and prestige, reflecting the complexities of their society. As the Mycenaeans continued to evolve, their military prowess became a defining characteristic of their civilization. The influence of Minoan culture contributed to the development of sophisticated weaponry and strategic military practices. The Mycenaeans built fortified citadels and employed advanced techniques in warfare, allowing them to expand their territories and assert dominance over neighboring regions. This militaristic approach was further reinforced by the cultural narratives of heroism and valor that permeated Mycenaean society. The interactions between the Minoans and Mycenaeans also had lasting effects on the religious landscape of ancient Greece. The Mycenaeans incorporated Minoan religious practices into their own, leading to a rich tapestry of myth and ritual that would later influence classical Greek religion. The worship of gods and goddesses, alongside various cult practices, laid the groundwork for the pantheon that would emerge in later Greek mythology. This syncretism of beliefs created a fertile ground for the development of philosophical and theological thought in ancient Greece. The eventual decline of the Mycenaean civilization around 1200 BCE further underscores the complex interplay of cultural interactions in the region. Factors such as internal strife, economic decline, and external invasions contributed to their downfall. However, the legacy of the Minoan-Mycenaean interactions endured. Many cultural elements, including art forms, religious practices, and writing systems, were assimilated into the broader tapestry of ancient Greek civilization, shaping its identity for centuries to come. The archaeological record provides ample evidence of the enduring impact of Minoan and Mycenaean interactions. Excavations at sites such as Knossos, Mycenae, and Pylos reveal a wealth of artifacts that highlight the blending of cultures. From pottery adorned with Minoan motifs to linear B tablets detailing economic transactions, these findings offer invaluable insights into the ways in which these two civilizations influenced each other. In conclusion, the interactions between the Minoans and Mycenaeans were characterized by a dynamic exchange of culture, trade, and ideas that profoundly shaped the development of ancient Greek civilization. The adoption of Minoan artistic styles, religious practices, and governance structures by the Mycenaeans reflects a complex relationship that went beyond mere conquest. This interplay of cultures contributed to the rich tapestry of Greek history and laid the groundwork for future developments in art, writing, and spirituality, ultimately influencing the trajectory of Western civilization as a whole. The legacy of these two great civilizations continues to resonate, reminding us of the power of cultural exchange in shaping human history. The decline of the Aegean civilization. The decline of the Aegean civilization around 1100 BCE marked a pivotal shift in ancient history, leading to the collapse of the Mycenaean palatial centers and the onset of the Greek Dark Ages. This period of decline was not a singular event, but rather the result of a complex interplay of multiple factors that contributed to the unraveling of once thriving societies in the region. The Mycenaean civilization, known for its monumental architecture and intricate trade networks, began to disintegrate under the weight of various internal and external pressures, leading to a transformation that would shape the course of Greek history. One of the most significant factors contributing to the decline of the Aegean civilization was the series of natural disasters that struck the region. Archaeological evidence suggests that earthquakes and volcanic eruptions were prevalent during this period, causing widespread destruction, particularly in the Minoan centers on the island of Crete. These natural catastrophes not only devastated the physical infrastructure of cities, but also severely impacted agricultural productivity, leading to food shortages and social unrest. As resources dwindled, communities struggled to maintain their way of life, further exacerbating the decline of these once mighty civilizations. In addition to natural disasters, the Aegean civilization faced the threat of invasions from external groups. The arrival of the Sea Peoples, a confederation of naval raiders, marked a significant turning point in the region's history. These invaders disrupted trade routes, sacked cities, and destabilized the political landscape. The Mycenaean palatial centers, which had been hubs of commerce and culture, fell prey to these incursions, leading to the collapse of established societies. The disruption of trade not only affected the economy, but also diminished cultural exchange, further isolating the Aegean civilizations and contributing to their decline. Internal strife and social upheaval among the city-states also played a crucial role in the decline of the Aegean civilization. The Mycenaean and Minoan societies were characterized by complex political structures, but as economic conditions worsened, rivalries and conflicts escalated. City-states engaged in warfare, vying for dwindling resources and territory. This internal discord weakened the political cohesion necessary for sustaining these civilizations, making them more vulnerable to external threats. As the fabric of society frayed, many city-states fell into disarray, hastening their decline. The economic decline that accompanied these various factors further compounded the crisis facing the Aegean civilizations. Disruptions in trade routes caused by both natural disasters and invasions led to a breakdown in economic stability. The loss of trade networks not only impacted the flow of goods, but also diminished access to essential resources, including raw materials and agricultural products. As agricultural production faltered, population decline followed as communities could no longer support their inhabitants. This cycle of economic decline created a feedback loop that made recovery increasingly difficult. Amid this backdrop of turmoil, the Mycenaean civilization's reliance on trade and external connections became increasingly apparent. Once vibrant trade networks that spanned the Mediterranean were severely disrupted, leading to isolation and economic collapse. The decline of these networks hindered the exchange of ideas, technologies, and cultural practices, contributing to the overall stagnation of the region. As trade routes fell into disuse, the civilizations that once thrived in the Aegean found themselves increasingly cut off from the broader currents of Mediterranean life. The cultural exchange that had flourished between the Mycenaeans and the Minoans during the height of their civilizations also began to wane. The Minoans, known for their artistic achievements and advanced civilization, had significantly influenced Mycenaean culture, including their art, architecture, and writing systems. However, with the decline of both civilizations, this rich cultural interplay diminished. The Mycenaeans had adopted the Minoan linear A writing system, and adapted it to create Linear B, the earliest form of Greek writing. As the Mycenaean centers fell, the preservation and continuation of these cultural practices became increasingly tenuous. Despite the challenges faced during this period, the cultural legacy of the Aegean civilizations endured in various forms. Elements of Minoan and Mycenaean culture would eventually resurface during the later periods of Greek history. The art and architecture of the Aegean civilizations left a lasting imprint on the development of classical Greek culture. Moreover, the emergence of new political and social structures during the Greek Dark Ages laid the groundwork for the eventual rise of city-states such as Athens and Sparta. The decline of the Aegean civilization also prompted significant changes in social organization and political structures. As centralized palatial economies collapsed, local communities began to reorganize around smaller, more autonomous units. This shift paved the way for the emergence of new forms of governance, including tribal and regional leadership. The fragmentation of political power laid the groundwork for the development of the city-state model that would dominate Greek civilization in the subsequent centuries. In the aftermath of the decline, the region entered a period commonly referred to as the Greek Dark Ages, characterized by a significant loss of literacy, artistic expression, and cultural sophistication. The lack of written records from this period makes it challenging to fully understand the transitions that occurred. But it is clear that the once flourishing Aegean civilizations had given way to a more fragmented and localized society. The traditions and innovations of the Mycenaeans and Minoans were largely overshadowed by the challenges of survival in a new social and economic landscape. As communities adapted to the changing conditions, the foundations for the revival of Greek civilization began to take shape. The transition from the Dark Ages to the Archaic period saw the re-emergence of trade, artistic expression, and literacy. New forms of governance and social organization emerged, allowing for the establishment of city-states that would later become the epicenters of Greek culture. The resilience of these communities in the face of adversity laid the groundwork for the flourishing of classical Greek civilization. In conclusion, the decline of the Aegean civilization was a multifaceted process driven by natural disasters, invasions, internal strife, and economic decline. While this period of decline marked a significant turning point in ancient history, it also set the stage for the eventual resurgence of Greek culture. The legacies of the Minoan and Mycenaean civilizations continued to influence subsequent generations, demonstrating the enduring impact of this remarkable period in human history. The interplay of various factors during this transformative time illustrates the complexities of societal change and the resilience of cultures in the face of challenges. The Aegean civilization, epitomized by the Minoans and Mycenaeans, serves as a cornerstone for the evolution of Greek culture and history. Their remarkable achievements in art, architecture, and governance highlight a society that was not only complex but also remarkably advanced for its time. The Minoans, with their vibrant frescoes and elaborate palatial complexes, and the Mycenaeans, known for their impressive fortifications and rich burial customs, contributed significantly to the cultural tapestry of ancient Greece. These civilizations fostered a milieu of trade and innovation that facilitated the exchange of ideas and goods, influencing not just their contemporaries but also subsequent societies throughout the Mediterranean and beyond. Their legacy, encompassing advancements in writing, trade networks, and artistic expression, continues to captivate scholars and enthusiasts alike, revealing the profound impact they had on shaping human history. As we reflect on the stories of the Minoans and Mycenaeans, we are reminded of the intricate web of human civilization, where the threads of trade, culture, and innovation intertwine. This interconnection not only informs our understanding of the past, but also serves as a source of inspiration for future generations, urging us to appreciate the rich heritage of our shared human experience.
Thanks for watching our latest videos by clicking on the video in the screen, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more.